Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 813 Southeast Ford Street here in McMinnville. We're located up on the rooftop. We're going to go down a 3-inch vent. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We'll zero out the foot counter once we get to the base of the vent. After we clean some cobwebs off here. Now we're going to the vent right now just because it's an easier point of access into the line right now. It's hard to tell where the line pops out of the home as the sewer line dives into the vapor barrier a little ways back into the crawl space. Now, I do have water currently running. Got a bathtub running full bore from the rearmost unit. We should start seeing water flow. There it is. And I did zero the foot counter out at the base of the vent. Alright, so got a little gunk there at the top of the pipe. There's also a tie-in right there where that may actually be the clean out for the exterior we just went past. And hitting some standing water here. That looks like the edge, that almost looks like concrete pipe that we're coming up on. It's hard to tell right now with the standing water. Making sure I can clear through here. Okay, yeah, we do have roots. That was indeed, it looks like concrete pipe as far as I can tell here. Yeah, a lot of roots. So unless this thing's been updated somewhere, this is probably going to be a full repair or a full recommendation for an update at this point. We're likely going to see the same condition from here all the way to the street edge. The plus side, unless something has changed all of a sudden, the city out here does take responsibility. It's at least in the street. I can't. They actually might take it all the way back to the right of way here. You'll have to contact the city on that one. My camera is upside down right now. If you're wondering why the water's overhead. Anyway, major root intrusions throughout the line. You've also got settled spots in the pipe from the joints opening up, causing hydro erosion. And luckily, it looks like the city dealt with their end of things here. So now we're into PVC pipe. When we come back in here in a moment, we're going to do all the locating from that concrete to plastic transition back into the where the belly begins. All right, there's the main connection right there. So what we're going to do here, just to kill two birds with one stone, we're up on the roof here. It's kind of awkward. I'm going to pull the camera back to the transition joint, and that locate will verify what street we're going out to. It'll also let us make our first repair locate. All the PVC pipe here is looking good though thus far, and most if not all of this is in city territory. Alrighty, the water is off. I don't have complete control over the water. Luckily, in this case, it doesn't matter. The line's shot anyway. But where we're sitting right now, I describe everything as if you were standing in the street facing the front of the house. Or facing the home from the road anyway. If you go out to kind of the front right corner of the property, you'll see where there's a new piece of concrete and there's a big steel cover plate sitting there. Just in front of where we just did a locate, there's a tie-in. That's for the city clean out. So you'll see about 3-4 feet away from where that spot's at in the yard area, you'll see a green X marking. that's where the transition to PVC is. I recommend a full update to all concrete pipe, as well as the bellied area in the sewer line that starts in the ABS. Oh, now that's a root or an earthworm. All right, so right now my markings are going to be somewhat hard to see. They just did a bunch of lawn mowing. There's a lot of grass clippings and stuff around. It's straight where I just did that locate there is straight out to the right of the front right corner of the front patio, sitting maybe 3 inches from where the walkway is at that goes up the right side of the house. Super shallow there, about 1 foot 10 inches deep.
So, just want to know if you're going to be here in time for
See how far back here until we get to the ABS. All right.
That's what you got to take the time on. We'll be quick and ready for you. We're done in the back. We're finishing up the crawl. I did the attic.
All right, let's see if I can catch the line right here. It's really hard to see right now. There's a bunch of soap bubbles in the line.
See you soon.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and reel back in. So be aware, my last marking goes right up to the lattice work of the deck. The line runs up the right side of the house, turns and goes into the home right around where the front unit meets the rear unit. You've got a belly right here. This part of the line, I pushed past this to get the camera straightened out. I can't locate right here because it's underneath decking. So if you look at the lattice work, you're gonna see I shot a little bit of spray paint back under the lattice work there just to help clue people into that. In fact, I may recommend you take it back to this point. I can't tell if this is blockage evidence. The hard part with this line is it's clearly had flow problems in the past because of the concrete pipe. Most likely, the gunk you're seeing right here is related to a past backup. That joint there is a little bit out of whack, so I'm going to recommend the repair go back to this point here at about 20. Yeah, that joint I don't love either there. Some of these almost look like they could be dry fit, but it's hard to say. That joint too is also separated. That doesn't necessarily mean the joint is open to the ground. But that is an indicative sign when you get joints like that that are cattywampus. Seen it way too many times over my career. I can tell there's glue in here. I can see it in the flow line. It just makes me nervous. That joint could be dry fit. There's a decent amount of separation there. So yeah, realistically, I'm going to take it back to 21 feet here. And I'm going to go locate one more time just to give you a rough idea as where this is.
Yeah, I think we got like 800 bucks.
All right, so that last locate there, I'm picking up just barely outside the foundation wall. So it looks like, essentially, if you start at the foundation wall and work your way out to the transition to 3034, that's the pipe there that's of concern. Those joints are pulled apart far enough, I'm worried they're dry fit. They might not be, but if you're already down there working under the deck anyway, there's no reason to run the risk of it. Yeah, some of these have a little spacing in them too. What I don't see is a bunch of dirt coming to the joints. The ones on the outside though, in my opinion, you might as well do it while you're already out. The line is crazy shallow. By the time you hit the foundation wall, it wouldn't surprise me if you're less than a foot deep. So to be on the safe side, I would recommend taking it to that point. Dry fit joints like that over time can lead to settling problems that they slowly but surely open up. So recommend everything from about 21 feet of the foundation wall all the way to the transition to 3034 be updated to the obvious reasons there. Highly recommend a rescope afterwards to check the work, and you need to do the rescope. The repair guys will do it when the trench is open, but for your purposes, you need to do it when the trench is closed, or you're not going to catch any potentially settling problems that can happen, and you don't see those until there's weight on top of the sewer line. So I'll do some reviewing at home and get the length of the line written up. But you're running from, I don't even think you're a foot deep at the foundation wall. I'm guesstimating here a little bit. You're probably right around 10 inches. And by the time you hit the 3034, I was getting around 4 feet deep there. So very shallow. You could reroute this thing and shoot the line straight across the walkway. Right now, it spans probably 15 feet of the walkway the way it runs. But you can probably reroute this thing a little bit, get it just past the walkway, turn it, and then run it straight through the yard and bypass messing with the walkway for the most part. Anyway, the rest of the ABS line here from 21 feet back, even the stuff out past 21 feet, it might be intact. They're just, the joints are separated enough when it's that easy to get to. I just don't feel like it makes sense to take the risk. So everything from that point on, but the rest of the ABS here looks intact. Under the house, there's a couple joints that show a little bit of separation at them, but I'm not seeing obvious signs that they're open to the ground. No dirt stains or anything like that at the pipe joints.